here that we discussed earlier that the all German National Party holded by the middle class, all German National Party holded by the middle class, and that what happened that the all German National Party do not fulfill the expectations or the necessities of the middle class, so the all German National Party thrown off. Okay, so what here that now again the situation is that monarchy is here in the Germany. So now what happened that the middle class and the Junkers of Prussia, the middle class and the Junkers of Prussia. Junkers of Prussia means that Junkers means the large landowners. Junkers means the large landowners. What they are becoming the with the middle class and started the revolution for the unification of Germany. After 1848, nationalism in Europe moved away from its association with democracy and revolution. Nationalist sentiments were often mobilized by conservatives for promoting state power and achieving political domination over Europe. So that the Junkers of the Prussia, the middle class, so what they both are doing the struggle, they both are doing the struggle together and get the Germany unification. From then on, Prussia took on leadership of the movement for national unification. So who took Prussia? Prussia took the leadership of the unification. Its chief minister Otto von Bismarck. Here it is he is Otto von Bismarck, chief minister of Prussia. Was the architect of this process carried out with the help of the Prussian army and bureaucracy. 3 wars in the 7 years going on with the Austria, Denmark and France, and that completed the process of the unification and in end Prussian victory happened, and in January 1871 the Prussian king William I was proclaimed German emperor in a ceremony held at Versailles. So with the middle class and the Junkers of Prussia and in the guidance of the Otto von Bismarck, okay, what the Germany get the freedom and become united. Okay, means that the 7 years war going on, in which war 3 wars, 7 years and the 3 wars. Okay, then the Austria, Denmark and France. Okay, these 3 defeated by the Prussia. So finally January 1871 get the independence. Germany became independent, united, all were happy, and the William I become the king of Germany. And what that the nation building process in Germany had demonstrated the dominance of Prussian state power. The new state placed a strong emphasis on modernizing the currency, modernizing the banking system, legal and judicial systems in Germany. So all the work that happened that for the modernization. Prussian measures and practices often became a model for the rest of the Germany. So this is the story of the German unification. Now we can come to here that the Italy unification. Okay, Italy unification, what that it in the 19th century Italy divided into 7 states. Italy divided into 7 states. Only one, that is Sardinia Piedmont, that is related to the Italian princely house. It is related to the Italian princely house. There were many regional languages at the time. Okay, and the north was under the Austrian Habsburg, the center was ruled by the Pope, and the southern regions was under the dominance of the Bourbon kings of Spain. Okay, so this was the structure of the Italy that we see there, the various regional variations. Okay, now what happened that in 1830 Giuseppe Mazzini, as we read earlier, that are Italian revolutionary that worked for the unification of Italy, but not successful. So the failure of the revolutionary uprisings both in 1831 and 1848 meant that the mantle now fell on Sardinia Piedmont under its ruler King Victor Emmanuel II to unify the Italy states through war. In the eyes of the ruling elites of the season, a unified Italy offered them the possibility of economic development and the political dominance. Now, after this, what happened? Cavour, the chief minister Cavour, who led the movement to unify the regions of the Italy, was neither a revolutionary nor a democrat. Many other wealthy and educated members of the Indian elite he spoke French much better than he did Italian. Though a tactful diplomatic alliance with France engineered by Cavour, Sardinia Piedmont succeeded in defeating Austrian forces in 1859. Apart from regular troops, a large number of armed volunteers, under the leadership of the Giuseppe Garibaldi, joined the fray in 1860, marched into South Italy and the kingdom of the Two Sicilies, and succeeded in winning the support of the local peasants in order to drive out the Spanish rulers. In 1861, Victor Emmanuel II proclaimed King of United Italy. However, much of the Italian population, among whom rates of illiteracy were very high, remained blissful, unaware of liberal nationalist ideology. The peasants' masses who had supported Garibaldi in southern Italy had never heard of the unification. Okay, so here that with the Cavour, the common masses, Garibaldi, peasants, they all are come together and defeated the Spanish, and in 1861 the Victor Emmanuel II become the king of the United Italy. Now we see here the strange case of Great Britain. That Great Britain, there was no nation in the Great Britain before 19th century. Okay, so there was no nation state in the Britain before the 19th century. Before 18th century in Scotland, English Parliament seized the power from monarchy in 1688. So in 1688, what happened that the monarchy ban and the English Parliament have institutionalized. So England become the nation state. Because of this, England become the nation state. Now with the Act of Union 1707 signed, England and Scotland United Kingdom of Great Britain. Okay, after that act of union 1707 signed, England and Scotland come together, and what it is called the United Kingdom of Great Britain. United Kingdom of Great Britain. So England was powerful in comparison to Scotland, or in front of Scotland, and the parliament is dominated by the England, and parliament is dominated by the England. Now what here the same is in the Ireland. Ireland is divided into two, that is Catholic and Protestant. Catholic and Protestant. Now what happened, that England tell to Protestant that if you defeated the Catholic, then you get the whole area. So the Protestants try to suppress the Catholic, and England is with the Protestant. Okay, so in Ireland the Catholic means suppressed, and that the Ireland also mixed with the England. So England in 1801, Ireland was forcefully incorporated into the UK. So now the England, Scotland and Ireland, what it become the Britain. And the English language become the official language, and the national anthem of the England become the official national anthem. Okay, now we come to here that the visualizing the nation. In this topic, what we are observing that every nation has a symbol. Okay, like we have here the portrait of the Bharat Mata, the image of the Bharat Mata, that signifies the India nation. So here in the Europe, nations were then portrayed as female figures. The female form that was chosen to personify the nation did not stand for any particular woman in real life. Rather, it sought to give the abstract idea of the nation a concrete form, that is the female figure, and allegory of the nation. So allegory of the nation. Allegory of the nation that represent the nations. Here in France it is Marion, and in German it is Germania. Okay, Marion and Germania both were signifies the nation of the Germany and France. Here some given that the liberty are the used with the red cap, or the broken chain used for the, while justice is generally a blindfold woman carrying a pair of weighing scales. So these are the symbols that also used in the European countries. Mainly you remember the two things, that from France what the Marion, and from Germany that is Germania. Okay, now next one is related with the Balkans and the Ottoman Empire. That what happened, that the Balkans, the Romania, Bulgaria, that all are the have control the Ottoman Empire. Okay, Ottoman Empire control these areas. So Balkan states were jealous of each other. They are started jealousing of each other. Each hope to gain more and more territory at the expense of others. Means they don't want to expend their monies. They wanted that we get the control over the different areas by the expense of other states. One by one, states broke away from the control of the Ottoman Empire and declared independence. So one by one they can separated from the Ottoman Empire and they declared themselves as independent.